Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at Wavebox by AudioThing. So grab your wave shaping shit and let's oge. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Aha. Sorry about yesterday not being here. Just absolutely unable to get out of bed, and even today not doing so good. Cold sweats, pains in the chest, you name it. I've got it. Throwing up, the whole lot, bleeding. It's been 2 days of absolute hell, and I'm sure today's going to be just as bad. But I'm heading into the doctor's today for some serious tests. Don't know what's going on. Very strange stuff. Anyway, that's out the way. I hope you guys are all doing okay. Oh, if I'm going to have to mute a bit today, that's just, it is what it is. We got to get through this app. So we're looking at AudioThing's Wavebox today. Came out last week. It's pretty damn cool if you ask me. I'm so underprepared today. Just give me a second here. I'll say hello to you all while I'm trying to sort my shit out. Let me scroll up over here. Wow. It's so hard to do this when you're not well. What was I looking for? I'm going over here. Hello to Thomas Christ. G'day, Thomas. Thanks for links and all the jazz that you do. You rock. Leela, thanks for bouncing everybody over here. I missed your show because I've been on the toilet all morning. What are we looking for? Wavebox. Nice. Who else? Hugh Caldwell, g'day. We've got Wolfstone Studio. Jenny Jolivet. Fat Panda Cat, g'day. Who else? Who else do I see? I saw up top Jim, Shannon, Jamie Lynn, hello. Man, I'm seeing double vision. This is great. This is awesome. It just gets better every day. I think I've got most of you. If I've missed you, just call me a cunt. Hugh, did I say? It's Hugh. There's Hugh. Hi, Hugh. Woo! It's all happening, folks. So, Wavebox, AudioThing. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Here it is. It is $6.99. It is an asymmetrical and symmetrical wave shaper. I know you're probably going, what the fuck is that? Well, we'll go through it and help you out with all of that. It is $6.99 on the iOS App Store. It works on all iOS devices. If you want to grab it on your desktop, you can do so as well. Make sure I've got the right thing up here. Here it is on the desktop. Boom. It's available on the desktop. It's currently on sale, actually, for $19, down from $50. So if you want to get this on your PC or your Mac, you can get it here from audiothing.net. And the manual's here. There's some videos on here. If you ever want to go and find a manual for anything, my friends, just go to the developer's website and you'll normally find the product, something like this. Download the manual. You can go and have a read. This is what the manual looks like. If you want to see that, there it is. So it's pretty big letters, pretty easy to understand. Unless, like, I'm not even going to try and be funny today. So there you go. It's available on iOS and desktop and the PC and the Mac. And shut up. Shall we play a demo? Let's. Let's play a demo, shall we? So, in this little demo here, we're going to run it on the bass mainly, and we've got some hammerhead drums here. I can chuck it on there as well. But we're using for the main instrument here, Elastic OSC and the brand new Fugue machine, Rubato, which, let me say, is something to behold. It's got a price on it, let me tell you, but man, is it. I'm not even going to say if it's worth the price, but it's fucking really good. All right, let's hit play. I'll shut up. Let's have a listen to this. Okie dokie. Hey, okay, so there we are. See you, Jamie Lynn, take care. David Cartret, and covered by CQ. Hi, Chris. I keep losing my voice. Don't know why. What's going on? All right, where are we up to? Let's get into this. So I'm just going to play this bass by itself just so you can hear what's going on. So this is a waveshaper, but I think it's more of a distortion, if you ask me. So this is with waveshaper on, with wavebox on. Hi, Pete. And here it is without. So you can hear it does a fair bit. There's a lot going on under the hood. Let's see what it does to some drums. So this is just a kick snare on hammerhead. All right, let's open up something else. I'm just going to clear this out of here and we'll go through how all this works. So I'm going to create a MIDI channel, an audio channel. We'll keep it simple like that. We'll create in here a, we'll throw in Waymaker, throw in King of FM, and we'll throw in a copy of Wavebox. Wavebox is an effect. It's not an instrument, just so you know. You need to put it through something. That is the way it rolls. Let's come over here to Waymaker and set this up quickly. We'll change to a morph, tap, change every 4, changes 3 every loop. And we'll send this out to King of FM. I'm not even going to change the tone. Just hear it. We'll slow this down. Nice. So immediately on the initial patch, when you load this, you're going to get a distorted sound. Okay, let's run through where everything is. This is a very typical, of course, AudioThing. AudioThing app. So your factory presets are pretty much exactly the same as not the presets, but where you find your presets, exactly the same as any other AudioThing app. You have a factory button down the bottom. Users, you want to save something, there's a save button that you can click up here and you can choose whatever you want. We'll call it demo, boom, hit save. When you go back into your presets, it'll be in your user section. To delete, easy, you can just make sure you're selected on it, come up here, hit delete, and it'll say cool. And it is now gone. If we come back to our user presets, there is no longer a demo preset in there. You've got randomization like you do with all of the AudioThing apps, and the lock button, which allows you to decide what gets randomized when you click that randomization. So if we come over here, click a bunch of these, then hit the little lock up the top. Now, any of the knobs or buttons that have a little lock on it, when I hit the dice, will not change. Everything else will change except for those things that are locked. If you want to unlock them, you can just click the lock again and tap on the individual things you want to turn off. Or you can come over here to the settings at the hamburger menu and unlock all parameters, or lock all parameters. So there's a fast way to do that as well. Also down here we have our zoom and scroll. So if you want to zoom in on your on the actual UI, you can do that. You've got graphics controls, brightness. You can preset, copy and paste. Everything that you would expect that is inside an AudioThing app is found here, including the soft clip, if you want to turn that on as well. You've also got a hard clip in your master section. as well. So we know where all our presets are. You've got arrows up here too if you want to bounce through them. Arrows are small, but this is pretty much been what AudioThing's UI has been for the longest time. Let's talk about the shaper. So this is where some people may get confused. So we have two kinds of shaping. Hi, Joe Glenn. So this combines two waves together, so two shapes together, and in two very different ways, yeah? So over here we have these functions. So function one basically is these, you know, whatever you're going to choose for that particular one, a sine wave, a square, whatever you want to choose. Yeah, you've got all these options in here. So you've got sine, linear, ABS, invert, floor, round, ceiling. So you've got a whole lot of these in here that you can choose, and you can have different ones. So if I come in here and pick this, and then we pick down here like a floor, you will see we've got different kind of shapes going on here, so different kind of lines going on, and you can change the curve of each of these. So as I turn the curve for the first one, you can see the bottom is curving as well. And why is that? Well, we have two particular shapes in here. One is an asymmetrical and one is a symmetrical. The difference is when the plus button is on, and that's this tiny little button up here, yeah? And when it's on, you can see it's white. So I wish this was like brighter, or it was like a really bright yellow or something, just so you can make sure it's turned on. So when it is on, as it is now, it is the asymmetrical mode, which means the first, let me come over here and we'll pick linear, just to show you how this works. So we've got linear. I'm going to bring both of these back to the middle. And in asymmetrical, it splits the signal between the top and bottom half, right? So you can see this line going through the middle. If I turn the curve on this one, you can see the top half is moving between this section here, yeah, by itself. So you can see it's covering just that little corner. And if I turn the bottom one, it's changing here. So this is your asymmetrical. And if we change this to symmetrical, now the line goes all the way across, right? So we can control it. So it's just one kind of thing. And you will hear a difference, definitely. We can show you that right now. Let's hit play. So just switching between them. Okay, so now between these two modes, so the symmetrical mode, now you'll get different harmonics. That's what the overall real difference in this. So when we're in the asymmetrical mode, which is the plus button on up here, you are going to get a whole different range of harmonics going on compared to the symmetrical mode. So in symmetrical mode, both shaping functions are applied to the whole signal. And the bias, let's talk about the bias. So this bias knob here, slider, when in symmetrical mode off, it controls the mix between these two, okay? When on, we're in on off now. So you can see this, it's controlling the mix between the two. And when it's on, the bias is controlling the offset between the two. So as we go up, this ERF is taking shape, but as we bring that down, it comes down into the lower half of linear, right? So it's a slight difference there. Let's turn it off. And back on. Now, all your parameters are open, so if you want to use external LFOs, modulation, you can do all that. But we have a couple of LFOs, so that's pretty groovy. We don't need to worry about that too much. Now, when it comes to our ceiling, the ceiling controls the dynamic range of the functions. So if we bring this down, we'll put it in. All right, you get the idea. Hopefully you get the idea with this to experiment and create your own curves. Now, of course, we have LFOs. Let's talk about them. We've got 1, 2, and an envelope follower and a filter. Now, when I first loaded this, I thought you could move these. I kind of thought it looked like you could just tap and drag them around. Excuse me. Far out. Brutal. But you can't, and I wish you could. I wish you could move them around. That would be really cool, and put them in a different order. That would be really nice. But we can't do that. So to turn on an LFO, each of them have a little light above here to turn them on. So you can see straight away that's modulating. Okay, so we can sync the modulation to our DAW with a little sync button, and now when we change our rate, you can see that's going to move to sync to the DAW, right? So we can have an 1/8 or whatever, unsync it. We've got free roaming to play around with our rate. Let's lock it. We've got the amount, so you can pull that down. You can control the amount. We can actually go up and down and mess about with where the it actually is on the waveform. Hi, Chem. And you can decide your destination. So you've got a bunch of destinations. You can go to the bias up here, the curve, so curve 1 and 2, the ceiling over here. You've got your resonance, so you can send it to the filter over on the end, cutoff and resonance. Let's just send it to the cutoff for now. And come here. And now you can see as I pull this cutoff back, you can see we've got modulation going on. So the modulation works. The one thing you can't do is send a modulation to a modulation, which would be cool. Of course, we all love doing dumb shit like that, don't we? Hi Les Nagy, what's going on? Adorable Anarchy, hello. Okay, so 2 LFOs. You can send these anywhere you want. Let's send it to the resonance. Why not? Or let's send it to the curve. We'll send it to curve 1, and we'll make sure it's all connected and sunk. And hit play. Also, you can tap down here and change the waveform if you want. We can go like a random. And you can see that modulating up here, yeah? We've got an envelope follower, which also can be sent wherever you want to the input, mix, output, cutoff, resonance. Let's send it to the resonance. So things can get pretty crazy, and that's where you're going to want to chuck on a hard clip or a limiter. Because we are dealing with distortions and such, we got to be careful because you will blow your ears out, and your ears are worth looking after. Again, these can be changed too. So destinations all set. I think we understand that. We've got an input mix. Hit play. We've got a mix and an overall output, yeah? Also comes with oversampling. So, of course, with any kind of oversampling, make sure you've got an iPad that can deal with it. If you're going to hit 16 plus, you know, you're increasing that quality. And it's going to knock your DSP up. So remember that if you're using an older iPad, you know, be conservative with the 16 times or the 8 times. It might just like, you can see if we hit play without that, what have we got? 8 DSP. Go up to 16, and that moves up to 20 DSP. So you can see the difference. It's definitely using a lot more energy oversampling. All right, let's run through, what are we going to run through? Let's run through some presets in here and see what they do just with this sound we've got here. So you get a heap of presets as well. Look at them all, heaps. Now remember, we've come from this. Hi, Deep Gravity. I love this one. So some specific sounds are for specific things. Yeah, you'll see vocals, some bass ones in here, some drum crunches, just a light overdrive. Love this. So now we're modulating both the curve 1 and curve 2. So remember, when you are in asymmetrical, this moves as more of an offset to the other. So you can see we're in asymmetrical at the moment, and it offsets up the top and down. But when this is in symmetrical, it is the whole thing that moves together. It is a whole thing in the middle. wicked. Let's throw it on some drums maybe and see how we go. I'm going to throw in maybe like a loop mix. Oh, we'll do a play beat. Yeah, the more squiggly the line, the more it's going to go bonkers. That is correct. Do some randomization here. Throw on a wave box. Solo. Crispy. Man, this one's pretty wild. So it's got like a phase going on. All right, let's bring this to a hole. That's what I want. Wow. So as you can see, some pretty tasty distortion. Okay, I want to throw this on something noisy, some kind of like Igor Vasiliev app before we get out of here. Let's maybe do no input mix or maybe noise space. It's pretty wild. We'll do a create like that. So we've already got some noise happening. That's wild. All right, so I think you get the idea. I think you get the idea of how this works. Let's run over how much it costs and do the thing. $6.99 on iOS if you want to grab it that way, or you can get it on the Mac or your desktop for currently on sale. Not sure how long for. $19 compared to $50 on the desktop. You can get it now before it's gone. I don't know what's coming up tomorrow on the show, my friends. So that is our demo for that. We're going to get out of here a little bit earlier today. Probably some of the shows are going to be a bit shorter this week because of my health, and I got to go back to bed. Scotty Butters, hello. What's going on, folks? Well, we're here. Let's do this. The one show that is up this week is this. Scotty Butters is coming on the show this week. So we're going to find out more about this guy who's continuously online. Thank you for the well wishes. All right. Don't know what's coming on tomorrow. There's a bunch of really good apps. As I said, I got this Fugue Machine Rubato, which is very controversial at the moment. Everybody's kind of freaking out over it because of the cost. It's like $60 US, $100 Australian. Everybody's complaining, but it's a really cool app. Like, it's really cool. Yeah, so, I mean, is it cool enough to spend that money? That's up to you. I think we're going to do that show this week. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll put up the shows probably tomorrow, so there we go. I'll put them up tonight. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry, guys. We'll get it together. Hopefully, I'll go to the doctors today. We'll find out why I'm getting these hot and cold flushes and shakes and stuff, and we'll work it out and see what's going on. Who knows? All right, I'm out of here for today. Yeah, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together, all that stuff. Stay awake, and I'll dump you over to Pete Johns, who's doing GarageBand Weekly today. All righty. Thank you so much for being here on the live stream. If you're watching on a replay, please hit the like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and let's OJ.